Lagi siya sa One Pieces, no? So, it's lagi sa flavor sa One Pieces. So, ang title is, the title of the piece is 143, meaning I read. So, respetar kang Cupido. Okay, so, she was the first book he ever read. And he found her among all the other books that seemed dead. With her peculiar cover and colors that hover over the monotonous mediocrity of everyday books. This one was different, he said. I could read her, he said, and he read things that made sense to him. Where others couldn't understand, he read her like the back of his hand, like she was his own. And he loved every minute of it. Some might say he was reading nonsense, that she was too wonderful to be understood, maybe. That she took him far above the clouds, maybe, because he knew what she was. She made him fly, over the ground and noise and the smog of everyday black and white, above the many things that suck the life out of everything. And he loved the feeling. Because he was tired. He was tired of knowing it all. He was tired of having all the answers. He was tired of looking smart, of looking perfect. And that was where he wondered at her. Where she didn't need a perfect cover, where it added to her color, where some of her pages were worn and weary, where it added to her story. And in his wondering, he found that they were compatible, and that she was relatable. How every page he went through her had a nostalgic tendency. How many things she said fit perfectly into the void of his self, left by people he'd given answers to, by people he gave his time to, by people he gave his fire to. He was tired of being looked up to. He just wanted to look into her and all the stories she could tell and all the things she could tell, because she knew things even she couldn't tell, because he could read her unlike any other. That he knew what she meant, where she can't put into words, he did. Like when she told him of Humpty Dumpty, he understood perfectly that not everything that is broken be easily put together again. How he understood why the dish ran away with the spoon, not just because she wanted to be spooned, while the cow was just happily jumping over the moon. He understood why. Rapunzel had to let down her hair, how she needed the outside air, to spread her hands wide to greet grasses green, the sun, the stars, and many other things she hadn't seen inside her cramped everyday life. He remembers what she said. She told him he had the universe in him. Now he'd look at the stars and his eyes were sparkling. She told him that no matter how long the night, the dawn will always break. Now he just closes his eyes and breathes every time he makes a mistake. She told him that it matters not what you look for, but what you see. That if the morning comes too long, just spend the night differently. He didn't have to endure it anymore. She was there to keep him company. And nobody read her like he did. Nobody turned him on like she did. Every time he touched her, his imagination would run wild. And nothing lit him up like she did. You could see it in his eyes. No amount of disguise could hide what she was to him. She was imperfect, but so was he. He was never good with looks, but he didn't need looks to read books, especially this one. All he needed were eyes to see and ears to hear, a mind that wonders and a heart that doesn't fear, because she would take him to places. And he would take her with him. And so he was also the first to read her.